is, and always has been, and will be, the greatest spectacle in racing. This is the Indianapolis 500.
Get ready, green, 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 green.
Scott McLaughlin in the yellow submarine leads the field to green. Will Power is on the outside.
Look back though at Santino Ferrucci. It's stars and stripes, goes right to P4. Ferrucci's on the hunt with the three Penske's leading.
Further back, I think the blue and orange car of Scott Dixon. Oh, we got a crash at the back.
That's Marcus Ericsson. Around goes Pietro Fittipaldi.
And I believe is that Catherine?
Tom
no, 66.
The Meyer-Shank Racing rookie. There's Ericsson, car destroyed, banging the steering wheel. His Indy 500 probably over.
The guy who almost won back-to-back in 22 and 23 is out of the race, and so too is the rookie Tom Blomqvist.
Ericsson, of course, starting right near the back on that final row, and Townsend back there. There is so much dirty air. This is a completely green racetrack, and by that I mean there's no rubber on it from all the rain we've had, and just look at the frustration from Ericsson.
You'd have, say, 28 cars in front of you taking all of the clean air. On board here with Marcus Ericsson. What happened? Oh, Blomqvist lost it down low.
Spin in front, get right. Damn it.
And guys, the irony is that this is exactly the same mistake that took Marcus Ericsson out on qualifying practice. Tom Blomqvist in the 66 get his left front tire on the rumble strip. It unweighted the car, it sent him backwards, and it takes out Marcus Ericsson. Yeah, watch Blomqvist up front on the left.
There it is. You get onto that gray concrete patch, just a first-time Indy 500 competitor, first corner of the first lap. One of the classic mistakes, rookie error. There's really no other way to put it, Townsend.
Wow, this has been a rough start for two of the six rookies. Tell us more, Kevin Lee.
So this is four now out of the race. Marcus Armstrong is done. They have lost power to his Honda.
Oh my, that's Marcus Ericsson and Marcus Armstrong, Pietro Fittipaldi and Tom Blomqvist. We are going racing. Scott McLaughlin and the Pennzoil Chevy at the front of the field. There's moves happening. There's passes being made. Callum Eilot's in trouble. He's being swapped. It's Kyle Larson, and there's contact with Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Hunter-Reay with the hip check to Larson. Something went horribly wrong for Kyle Larson on the restart. James, we've been talking about this as they go too wide in turn one.
Marty said it's one of the things Larson was most worried about because you don't get to practice restarts. We have thousands of laps of practice, dozens of hours, but this is one thing you don't experience to the race. Kyle Larson getting caught out there.
Look at the front too. Oh, there's somebody going from the fringe of the grass.
I think it's Kirkwood.
Kyle Kirkwood, and around the outside goes Colton Herter. The Gainbridge Honda sweeps around the outside of the championship leader, Alex Palou.
Colton Herter sees his teammate Kyle Kirkwood going big and says, I'm coming too. Great stuff from the Andretti drivers.
And you see him pop out there, and Ryan Hunter-Reay side by side. Palou joining the fight, 3 wide into 1. They both get around the number 23. Let's take a look on board with Kyle.
Oh, wheel spin. He was in first gear, James, and that... Oh, he went to fourth or third gear. He upshifted.
I think he had a wheel spin moment, and as he went to correct the spin, remember the shift paddles are on the back of that steering wheel. It sounds like he caught a gear and upshifted. Here's from Herta's view.
Green, 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 green.
So the car in front of Herta was out of line before that green came.
Sato? That's Sato.
So that could be what is under review. Kyle Larson not doing anything wrong from a legality standpoint, just a procedural one.
It is still Team Penske 1, 2, and 3 playing a fuel game here. Need to take you back just a short while ago and show you rookie Christian Rasmussen. Hinch, was this too brave or just super decisive or what?
Let's call it a little bit of both. I mean, this was definitely one of the most spectacular drivers to watch in practice, making some bold moves on the outside a few times, and definitely some late pops. Ryan Hunter-Reay, luckily a very experienced driver, saw it coming, made the adjustment, both cars got out.
Folks, keep watching the white, yellow, and black car of Colton Herta. Oh, and we've got more trouble. Catherine Legg.
Catherine Legg, the only...
Oh, just smoke.
The only woman in the race for Dale Coyne Racing, the Elf Honda, and that's not a great sign.
Power, guys.
This is similar to Marcus Armstrong. Cat did such a great job in qualifying. It was nerve-wracking. but she showed her grit and speed and talent to put a car in the field again. And unfortunately, this looks like maybe a similar result to last year, a premature end to her Indy 500 campaign. The majority of the field dove for pit lane. Stingray Robb did not. Connor Daly did not, nor did teammates Christian Lundgaard or Graham Rahal. So it's Stingray Robb for AJ Foyt Racing, who is going to bring this field back to green. Connor Daly is the second car. Then Christian Lundgaard in the Hy-Vee Honda. Look out as they all go into turn one.
It is a baby dragon down the front straightaway for Stingray Robb, and Connor Daly just chewed it up and grabs the lead with ease.
Ferrucci around the outside. He rounds up Will Power in that Verizon Chevy. Look at the stars and stripes, center of your screen. Ferrucci's on the move.
He's got ahead of both the Penske's of Newgarden and Power, trying to follow Scott McLaughlin's lead side by side. And that's Herta on Award. Herta in the yellow and white car, Award in the orange and black car. Now Pelot's coming around Award as well.
Pelot's going, and so does Colton Herta, looking to make a move to the inside on the front straightaway. Guys, this is racing like the last restart of the race.
Side by side, they go around the outside of Will Power. That's Rosenquist on Power.
Great move from Felix on board now with Pato Award. That's Pelot in front, and Linus Lundqvist in the wall. The caution is out.
It's another rookie.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke. And that is in turn two, guys. That's, well, as he ended in turn two, very similar to where he ended that practice crash. I think it started a lot earlier.
And I don't know if it's the 4-hour delay, guys, but it is too aggro right now. Way too gnarly for 28 laps in.
Yeah.
The way that mid-pack is driving. I don't know how much caffeine they had to stay jacked up for this afternoon, but in a lot of cases, too much.
Too much, and on a completely green racetrack. We already talked about it a little bit. With that rain, there's just no grip in this early stage of the race. Moves being tried that, like you say, you normally only see in the last 20 laps. We're seeing them here in the first 30.
The AMR safety team have been way busier than they thought they would or hoped they would. We thank them for their service. Keep your eye on the American Legion Honda of Linus Lundqvist. Whoa, he went right on the inside, lost control. It was an ambitious move, and it didn't pay off. Connor Daly, Indiana zone, leads this field back to green for Dreyer Reinbold Cusick Motorsport, but Stingray Robb comes, and here comes McLaughlin and Santino Ferrucci, the yellow submarine to the front.
How about Ferrucci? Too wide on Stingray Robb. He goes to P2. McLaughlin pulling away.
Ferrucci's been using that high line to great effect. Now others are joining the fight. You see Power side by side trying to get a few spots back. Remember, Ferrucci was behind him before that second caution.
Wow, look at this. Daly on the inside of Robb. 4 wide almost into turn 3. Herta, Pelot, and Rosenquist.
No lessons learned after that last crash. Everybody just as psycho mid to farther back.
Rasmussen on the outside of Takuma Sato there off of 4. And Colton Herta, guys, is on an absolute tear. Trying to get a move done now on Will Power into turn 1.
Newgarden on Rahal into turn 1. Then Power, then Herta, then Pelot.
I think a lot of the aggression right now from a Colton Herta or an Alex Pelot is just to stay away from what they see in their mirrors. It is so fierce from like 15th to 25th right now.
Look at this, Herta on Will Power. He'll pull out of that.
Low, you're clear.
He'll pull out of that, and the Verizon Chevy driver, the 2018 winner of the Indy 500, Will Power, holds the higher position for now. But up front, AJ Foyt Racing, Santino Ferrucci on Memorial Day weekend in the Homes for Our Troops Chevy is not letting McLaughlin get away.
I think Connor Daly just went to second there. The 24 for Dreyer Reinbold. He's led many laps here before. He loves the vibe from the crowd. And I wonder, Marty, does McLaughlin let Daly go so he can tuck in and save fuel?
Townsend, he was told to get rid of the cars that were in the back and pitted at lap 4 as quickly as he could. That's what McLaughlin did. He stormed to the lead. I don't think he's going to let anyone go. They like being out front much more as of right now. And plus, Townsend, we've gotten a lot of caution. That really helps out the fuel strategy.
Caution's out. What's it for? Oh, it's Felix Rosenquist. It's another Honda.
That is the third Honda.
Should I just park it there? bring it in if you can.
And Rosenqvist was having a great run.
It was Chevrolet that had the challenges in qualifying. Now it's Honda in the race.
See most of the field now peeling off into pit lane. Another set of yellow flag stops. This is where the guys and girls over the wall make their money. Kevin.
Antonio Ferrucci is going to be the first of the leaders to hit his box. He was warned. Callum Ilott pitting in front of him is way behind him, so he may have to hold to avoid any kind of contact. As you might expect, Colton Herta +9. He wants no changes. Marty.
When Alexander Rossi was asked by Brian Barnhart, his strategist, you want any changes? One-word answer, nope. Very happy with how the 7 car has been handling. Scott McLaughlin in pit stall number 1. He too very happy. Yes, they did indeed try to save a little bit of fuel. Waiting on that fuel right now, and McLaughlin once again uses that number 1 pit stall to his advantage. But how about Rossi maybe gaining some spots
That
there?
was slow out of the box for McLaughlin, uncharacteristic, and also slow for Ferrucci and Rossi.
Safe release from Rossi. I had to check up big time.
And Colton Herta was blocked there as well, trying to get out. It was a mad scramble. Have a look at this. Rossi versus McLaughlin, that's 1.
Yeah, watch this. Pelot swerves at Newgarden, but I think gives up almost position on the timing line with that swerve because Newgarden was able to speed ahead a little bit.
And then you heard Colton Herta say that he thought Rossi held him up. He did have to hit the brakes for Rossi's release, but look at the green and black car, Rinus VeeKay being investigated for an unsafe release.
Yeah, that's going to be a drive-through because you are not supposed to go straight to the high line with cars running there. As you see, Alex Pelot gets the knife out here and goes.
Back under racing, Ferrucci's pulled out.
Here we go, 4 wide again on the front stretch, up front.
Colton
Daly
Herta.
Robb, but Scott McLaughlin says, this is my corner.
Herta around the outside in the yellow, white and black Cambridge Honda. Newgarden goes, Pelot goes, Power goes around the outside.
I've never seen so many rows go 2 by 2 here at the Speedway, guys. There seems to be grip on that high line, and now Herta trying to get around the 41 of Stingray Robb.
Restarts today, absolute insanity, especially in the meat of the pack. Castro Neves and Award mixing it up back there. Alexander Rossi and Alex Pelot run nose to tail up front.
That was a decisive, determined move by Scott McLaughlin, but Stingray Robb is able to come back, takes the top spot.
Scott Dixon in the blue and orange car trying to make moves, but there's Santino Ferrucci making moves again. That time it was on the white and orange number 7 of Alex Rossi.
Ferrucci had that bad pit stop with the fuel probe getting stuck, but very quickly the Stars and Stripes car back to the front.
Can tell you that we've got a note from race control, Rinus VeeKay, unsafe release. We showed you the replay before we went to the break, and he has been sent to the back of the field. And how cool is this to see? Oh no, big crash, and it's Colton Herta. Herta and the Cambridge Honda is out. What happened to one of the pre-race favorites who was running in 2nd place and looking great?
Sorry.
I'd like to see him hang on here before he hops out because I think the front wing's damaged. I don't know about the rest of the car.
We didn't see a lot, but he is quick. He must know something we don't, Townsend, because he is quick to get out.
Right front looks okay. Left rear, right rear looks okay. The nose is collapsed, but that's easily replaceable on pit lane.
I don't see any damage on the floor. I don't see any damage on the back of the car. But again, he must know something we don't. Let's listen.
We're in the wall, guys.
James, I don't know what happened. It sounded a little weird, almost like the driveline locked up a bit. It was a weird loose sound, but I'll go back. He didn't hit anything on all 4 corners. Maybe the left front a little bit.
Maybe, but you
Not
could do
bad.
it. You could do a steering arm or something like that, but he had a huge save, kind of reminiscent of that testing spin when he was having to avoid Will Power. No, I don't think the left front even touched.
Did.
I think it's just a nose cone,
Oh,
Townsend.
man, he should stay in that thing.
All right, here they all come, and we'll start with Santino Ferrucci. He just commented, he said, I felt like I was sliding all over the place, and then I saw what happened to Colton Herta. He's glad to have a pit stop. Further up, Joseph Newgarden wants to take a little bit of downforce up. He's got that easy out, Marty.
Kevin, other than one restart today, Kyle Larson has been so impressive, hanging in the top 10. He's been dealing with a little bit of an issue on entry to the corner. They're going to make a wing adjustment here. Scott McLaughlin pits from the lead. Let's see if that clutch issue bothers him this time. Maybe, because a teammate, Joseph Newgarden, leaps him here on pit road. Oh, and a problem on pit road.
The Guy Care Chevy of Ed Carpenter, the owner-driver. What has happened? Check it out. Oh, Callum Ilott got shoved into his pit box. They had to push him out of the way and wait for Ed. Here we go, back racing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Rinus VeeKay is at the front of the field. He's on a different strategy. And around goes Christian Lundgaard, sweeping right around in the Hy-Vee Honda. But look at Joseph Newgarden.
How about
that yellow
Ferrucci?
and red machine.
Ferrucci again making moves, passes McLaughlin. Those two cars are on the same strategy. Newgarden ultimately leading that primary strategy.
News from race control. Kyle Kirkwood from Andretti Global will need to come to pit lane. Avoidable contact for hitting Callum Ilott on pit lane.
I don't know about that. I would appeal that if it's possible, James. We'll look at a replay later. But I think Callum Ilott never transitioned out of the fast lane for his stop. He just jammed on the brakes. Watch this. I don't know about that call. Everybody's jacked up, and Callum Ilott really should be fading to straddle that pit lane and show that his box is coming up. You can't expect Kyle Kirkwood to know where Callum Ilott's pit is.
I think you look at any insurance adjuster will tell you if the contact comes from the back, Marty, it's probably their fault.
Well, Kyle Kirkwood agrees with you guys. He said, how in the world do we get a penalty when someone slows down in the fast lane right in front of me? That was not our fault, Dylan.
So Colton Herta has been released from the care center. Car is in the garage. They put a new front wing on it, and Colton is getting ready to climb back in the race car. They'll have to wheel it back to Gasoline Alley, but he is over here just to the left of our camera, getting suited back up, getting ready to climb back in the 26. So you guys were right, minimal damage.
Let's show you this on board the Arrow McLaren Chevy Pato Award. Whoa, that's why we call him the Ninja. The Ninja is fighting.
Left front on the rumble strip, and ladies and gentlemen, I have never seen a double save like that.
And it's not just that he slid, he spun the tires up. You heard the engine RPM increase twice. That was wheel spin off of 2.
You can normally get away with 1, but not 2. Ninja hands at work, Dave.
No changes this time for Christian Lundgaard, and the other changes have been very minor. A slight wing adjustment early. Fresh tires have sent him on his way.
And with Lundgaard coming in, that has put Joseph Newgarden to the front, the defending Indy 500 winner. It's the first time he's led today. Is Newgarden driving to back-to-back victories for the first time anyone's done it in more than 20 years.
Yellow.
Drop of the green.
Again. Oh, it's Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Broken steering arm on the right or the left front.
Great job to keep that car down and not spear back onto the racetrack into the path of oncoming cars, T-Bell.
You can see the Firestone white wall is missing on the right front, which means I think he got into the turn 2 wall with understeer and then the grass.
Yikes, wait till you see this replay. They tell how graphic it was. Check it out.
Oh. What was the fade? Was that Dixon?
It was Scott Dixon.
Yeesh.
Whoa.
And then a 360-degree spin through the grass in front of traffic at over 200 miles an hour. That's a terrifying moment for a driver.
Team Penske 1 and 2, and it's the defending winner who will bring this field to green, Joseph Newgarden and Scott McLaughlin. They're side by side over the yard of bricks, heading into turn 1, and it's going to be the yellow submarine that takes the lead on the restart. McLaughlin back to the front.
Ferrucci on the outside of Rossi as well. We got cars high, we got a spin.
Andretti, Marco Andretti.
Oh,
just clips the wall.
Andretti Global has had Marcus Ericsson, Marco Andretti, now
Colton Herta.
And Colton Herta, plus the Kyle Kirkwood drive-through penalty as Michael Andretti and his father Mario can only drop their heads and wonder why, how.
This is what happened to Marco. He's right in the middle of that pack.
Just starts walking around on him super early. He gets into effectively a tank slapper, if you've ever had that on a motorcycle, and he just keeps chasing it, and then finally has to lock it down here on the, I mean, that is like 6 big tail wags.
Let's go, green flag flies here in Indy.
Brilliant jump for Scotty Mack. Watch those 2 lime green cars. They've been going at it, Rasmussen and Canapino.
Larson on the inside of Palou, and Palou is forced up high.
Rossi on the outside of Ferrucci. He used the car in front as a pick. Ferrucci wanted to pull out, but he had nowhere to go. Rossi blocked him in, ran the high side, got the position, now running up in 3rd.
Excellent job from Rasmussen, running the high line there through turns 1 and 2. He drafts up on Kyle Larson and goes to the outside. They're 3 wide further back.
Augustine Canapino in that green and black Honko's Hollinger car. He went right by Elio Castro Neves. Here's Rinus VK and Callum Eilert almost wheel to wheel.
Callum on that curb on the inside of 4. We've seen it catch drivers out. He managed to get it done. Now Rossi on the inside of Newgarden for 2nd.
There's a change. Rossi in the Arrow McLaren Chevy splits the Team Penske machines, and Santino Ferrucci for AJ Foyt Racing runs 4th.
And these top 5 drivers have the ultimate challenge. Be aggressive, make moves, but don't burn too much fuel in doing it. They're still trying to extend their window. They want to get to probably lap 135 before they pit.
Last year's winner of the Indianapolis 500, Joseph Newgarden from Nashville, Tennessee, pits from the lead with 70 to go in the Indy 500, trying to go back-to-back for the first time since Elio Castroneves over 20 years ago. He's been dealing with a vibration, so he's been waiting for this stop to try to make the car a little bit better. Slight turn of front wing, and Newgarden is back out.
All right, so how much longer can McLaughlin, Rossi, Ferrucci go? Here comes McLaughlin, here comes Kyle Larson, here comes Augustine Canapino.
Oh, big lockup from Kyle Larson, way past the cone there. We've seen this before, guys. A good 500, Dylan, come unglued in pit lane.
Cars working their way down pit road. Augustine Canapino, we saw him. He'll hit his marks. Been really good inside the top 10. Just his 2nd year in IndyCar racing, Marty.
No word yet if Kyle Larson did speed on pit road, and to make this run even more impressive, running 6 on this strategy, they did not get the last adjustment they wanted. Scott McLaughlin trying to do what Rick Mears did 36 years ago, win from the pole for Team Penske. He said, I need the front to work better. Clearly, conditions changing here at Indianapolis. This will be tight down to make it on one more stop. And there you go. Kyle Larson does indeed get a penalty. You heard Brian Campy say it. He will have to come down pit road, and that's one of the things that he was worried about, is how he would handle pit road. He's going to have to do a drive-through for speeding.
How about Alexander Rossi to the front?
2 for 1 from Alexander Rossi. Not only McLaughlin, he got Newgarden as well. Rossi to the front.
Watch Santino Ferrucci at the exit of turn 2. Palou makes a move on Newgarden. There's Ferrucci coming out of the pits.
Look at this, look at this. It's a drag race, but the power and the advantage is going to go to Rossi. Rossi has got McLaughlin. Palou gets by Ferrucci. It's Rasmussen and Newgarden. Wow! Wow! Right around the outside, what goes Joseph? How did they all fit? How did nobody hit? That was incredible.
How is the racetrack that clean? Is Palou now 3 wide, Palou to the front. Oh, yellow out.
Big one for Will Power. It's over for the Verizon Chevy.
It's a huge one for Will Power.
And that's not what Scott Dixon wanted to see. It allows the field that needed to stretch fuel to catch up.
Will really thought this could have been his this year. On the front row, started from 2nd and had a good month of May and did not want it to end like this. What happened? On the outside of Christian Rasmussen.
Clear low.
Just got high, got loose, and got in the wall.
Here comes Pato up the inside and Rossi on the outside.
3 into 1 doesn't work. Dixon falls, but 3 behind him. Joseph Newgarden up high around VK and Palou. We got a car up high, but keeps it out of the wall.
Newgarden thinks he's at Iowa Speedway.
Errol McLaren with the flex on that restart. Rossi going big, Award going strong, and further back it's getting dicey.
Arrow, McLaren 1-2, Ganassi, then Team Penske, look out, Takuma Sato, wheel to wheel into turn 3 with Kyle Kirkwood.
Kirkwood saying not right now. It's been a tough race for Andretti Global, but Kirkwood still in it.
Tucking out and heading up the inside, teammate on teammate. Award retakes the lead of this race. Look at this, Alexander Rossi on Joseph Newgarden. They've both made their last stops. Rossi gets ahead of Newgarden.
And these two cars will blend with those that just pitted. Dixon and Award, there they are in the short chute. This is the battle for the win of the Indy 500.
Watch over here, coming out, Dixon, but the others are at speed.
Rossi gets a little bit of a toe off Award. Both him and Newgarden now going side by side. Newgarden uses the pick on the outside. Dixon getting up to speed. Joseph has momentum. Will he get him on the front straight?
Newgarden has a ton of momentum. Dixon still trying to accelerate. They'll catch each other at the end of the front stretch.
Both of these men are Indianapolis 500 winners, but here comes Newgarden, blasting up the inside of Dixon.
We haven't mentioned Pato Award for a couple of laps, but I've been watching closely, and the driver of the Aero number 5 suddenly seems to be finding his groove again, just like he did with his teammate Rossi about 20 laps ago. Award is going forward.
220-mile-an-hour game of chess right now.
You just get the sense that Pato Award will be disgusted with a second place here. He has the car.
2 by 5.
He has the fuel. He has the desire, and I think he'll leave it all out on the racetrack with 2 to go.
2 laps to go, and Pato's got his teammate Alexander Rossi right behind as well. Newgarden, Award, Rossi, Dixon, and Palou.
You can see the balance in that race car. He is nervous. He is balancing that thing on the absolute edge.
You know what to do now.
Great job hanging on to it. He's got a nice run coming to turn 3.
And decides not to take it. That tells you everything you need to know.
That shocks me.
If a yellow comes out now, we can't red flag it.
White flag, amigo. White flag.
White flag, amigo.
Here it comes.
There has never been a Mexican driver win the Indianapolis 500. Maybe that time is now. With 1 more lap to go, Pato goes to the lead.
He's not going to lift this time. He did it against Ericsson and lost Pato Award to the front off of turn 2.
5 back, 6 back.
Award tries to break the draft. Newgarden's like, I've been in this situation before. Joseph Newgarden around the outside of Pato Award. This is mind-blowing. Joseph Newgarden had to wait 12 times to win it, and now he's going to do it back-to-back. Joseph Newgarden is a 2-time Indy 500 winner. Oh, my goodness.
Let's go! Let's go!
For the first time in 22 years, a driver has won back-to-back Indy 500s, and it's Joseph Newgarden.
It's one of the most emotionally draining Indy 500s you've ever been a part of, win or lose.
No doubt, no doubt. I knew we could win this race again, and just a matter of getting it right. There's no better way to win a race than that. I mean, you know, I got to give it up. I got to give it up to Pato as well. He's an incredibly clean driver. You know, it takes 2 people to make that work. So it's not just a good pass. It's also, you know, someone that you're working with that's incredibly clean. So I mean, I got to give hats off to Pato. You know, he could have easily won this race too. But it just fell our way, and I'm just so proud of everybody, proud of this whole team. Luke at home, who not here but deserves to be here, and Tim, they're a huge part of this team, but Raul and JD did a great job this whole month, and to have Shell on board, we're running 100% renewable fuel because of these guys since last year. Everyone that partners with us, Team Chevy, just a great day. I'm glad we got it in today too. I really thought we were racing tomorrow.
Up next, it's the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix, Sunday, June 2nd. Watch it at noon on USA Network.